Some travelers wait for hours in line at customs to get back into the United States. Yet, others clear customs in just minutes. So what's the difference? Well, it's a program called Global Entry, and it just might change the way you travel internationally forever. I know it did me. Now in this video, I'm going to discuss what the Global Entry program is, how you can apply, information about the in-person interview, and discuss if it's worth the $120 fee. So let's get started. So then, what is Global Entry? Simply put, it is a U.S. Customs and Border Protection program that allows low-risk travelers, such as me and maybe you, to skip those long custom lines when you're entering the United States. And it includes TSA PreCheck, which allows you to breeze through domestic airport security too. You know, it's no paperwork, no drama. You just facial recognition or scan your fingerprints at a kiosk and boom, you're done. It's that easy. And it works at over 75 airports in the United States and some border land crossings. Earlier this year, we were on planes and sitting in airports for over 28 hours on a return trip from our Bali cruise. And believe me, the last thing we wanted to do was stand in a long line at customs when we had nothing to even declare. But we were saved because we had the Global Entry card. Seriously, there was no line at the Dallas airport. We just walked right up to the kiosk, facial recognition, nothing to declare, and boom, we were done. While others on our airplane, we saw them in long custom lines. Now, the fee is $120, and for that fee, you get Global Entry for 5 years and TSA PreCheck for 5 years, which can really come in handy at domestic airports, especially if you hate taking off shoes, belts, and all that kind of hassle. So to me, is it worth it? You betcha. So you might wonder, are you eligible? Well, you probably are if you are a U.S. citizen, permanent resident, and a national from select countries. You all can apply. But if you've had a criminal history, any custom violations, or previous immigration problems, well, you may be denied. And if you've had a DUI or any custom issues, your application could be flagged and either denied or delayed for a very long time. So you might be asking, how do you apply? Well, it's real easy. You just go online to this site, ttp://dhs.gov, and you're going to create a profile and sign up. This part, really easy. Just hit the apply now and consent, and then you can sign in here using login.gov. If you don't have an account, create an account and then come back here and start your application. The next part, you're going to fill out your application and set aside some time, maybe even 30 minutes to complete the application, because some of the questions might give you a pause. For an example, it asks for current employment and when did it begin? Well, I had to think. I knew it was 1997, but I couldn't remember the month, and they wanted the month too. Same thing happened when they asked for present address history. I have been in the same house since 1999, but wasn't quite sure the month, so I had to look that up in some paperwork. And they want to know, since January of 2020, what countries have you traveled to? Well, I'm not just going to depend on my memory because I might skip one. So I looked and got all 9 countries, so I was prepared. So if you want to do these things ahead of time, it will take you a lot less time than 30 minutes. Oh yeah, and a pro tip, I am keeping that country list up to date for all future countries I also visit. Because when we reapply in 5 years for our global entry card, they'll ask me that question again. Then you are going to be paying online the $120 fee. And one thing to know, fee is non-refundable. So if for some reason you don't make the cut, you aren't granted a global entry card, then I'm sorry, you're out the $120 fee. But here's another tip. If you have a credit card such as American Express Platinum or Chase Sapphire Reserve, they'll cover the cost, that whole $120 of the global entry fee. So check your credit card to see what it will cover. So then you're waiting for conditional approval. You just want to go back to that site and check regularly. Now, we got our conditional approval within 24 hours, but I've heard of other people that have waited weeks. Just go back to that TTP portal and check regularly. So we had our approval. What's the next step? Well, you have to schedule a person-to-person interview. Actually, in person, not online. Now, there is one caveat. If you are coming back into the country, you might be able to schedule an interview right at the entry airport. But that wasn't the case for us. The closest interview site for us was 2 hours away, and we scheduled a 7:30 a.m. appointment because that was one of the closest ones, because these appointments can fill up really quick. So we stayed at a hotel the night before. It was only 5 miles from the global entry interview site. But guess what? It took us 30 minutes to get there. So make sure you have good directions before you leave. You don't want to miss that appointment. In our case, the site was in Detroit, right next to the Ambassador Bridge. And yes, it said online, don't panic when you see the sign, no entry to the United States, because it's right at the US-Canada border. And then it mentions that most navigation systems have not been updated for this area. They weren't kidding. We got lost. We almost, ended up going to Canada. Luckily, we pulled off. We went to a duty-free little shop right there at the border, and they were nice enough to call Global Entry Security, and they came and escorted us through the gate to the interview site. And all that hassle to get there, and that interview only took maybe 10 minutes. They just asked us some simple questions like, why do you want the card? Where have you recently traveled? Just those type of things. And then we had to give our fingerprints, and they took a picture. And that was it. And right at that interview, they gave us our known traveler number. So if we were scheduling any flights, that would be the number we use to indicate that we are TSA approved for PreCheck. We had that number right there. But the card itself was being mailed, and it could take 1 to 2 weeks. When you do get that card, though, be sure to keep it in a protective sleeve, because it does have our RFID chip in it. Now, one other thing, when you're at the interview, they're going to give you some printed material, and it tells you what to do if there's any changes. Like maybe you start a different job, you get married and there's a name change, or you move and you have a different residence. All those have to be entered in the Global Entry program. And in some cases, you can do it right online, and others, you're going to have to go in person. So keep that printed sheet so you know what you need to do if there are any changes in the next 5 years after you get your card. And here's a tip that a lot of people miss. Yes, the Global Entry card, it lasts for 5 years, but it isn't 5 years from the date you get the card. It's 5 years for your next birthday. So in my husband's case, his birthday's in December. He actually had about 5 years, 9 months. And in my case, my birthday's in June. I had about 5 years, 3 months. So just something to keep in mind. And it's so easy to use. There are kiosks available. There might not even be a line for the kiosk when you get off your plane. And you just go up to that kiosk and it will do facial recognition, could be fingerprints, and that's it. You don't even need to have your card with you. But you will have to declare. And in our case, we were declaring nothing, so it was super, super fast. But make sure you don't lie or miss something, because your first offense is a $5,000 fine. So make sure you declare what you bought overseas that you're bringing back into the U.S. And there's an added bonus. Maybe you went to Canada and you're coming back, or you went to Mexico and you're coming back to the U.S., and you can use it right at the land crossing. You know, in your car, you're at that crossing. You do, however, need your actual card for that, and you will use the Nexus or Sentry lines. So is it worth it? Well, if you're like me and hate long airport lines, and even if you only travel internationally once a year, to me, it is worth it. And even more worth it if your credit card pays for the fee. So if you aren't traveling internationally, maybe you only want to get a TSA PreCheck for domestic flights. If you do a lot of US to Canada travel and don't go elsewhere internationally, you might want to apply for Nexus, but you'd have to do your interview in Canada. Or if you do a lot of US-Mexico border crossings, then apply for the Sentry. So have you used Global Entry? Do you have a Global Entry card? Comment below. Tell me what your experience has been. I love to hear from you. And remember, adventure awaits.